And Young Buzz. Welcome back to the channel where we break down all the hottest stories in K-pop with opinions, excitement, and of course, your thoughts too. Today's topic is something I'm personally super excited to talk about because it shows just how far K-pop has come and how one group in particular keeps breaking records like it's just another day at the office. Yup, we're talking about none other than Stray Kids. So, according to Luminate's 2025 First Half Music Report, which is basically the gold standard when it comes to tracking music industry data in the US, Stray Kids ranked in the top 10 in US album sales for the first half of this year. Let that sink in for a moment. A K-pop group singing primarily in Korean, ranking right alongside the biggest American artists in one of the most competitive music markets in the world. That's wild. Now here's the juicy part. Their album, Hop, which was released all the way back in December of last year, ranked second in the top CD albums category. They sold 149,000 physical CDs in the US. I repeat, 149,000 CDs in a digital era. Do you know how hard that is? People don't even own CD players anymore. And yet, here we are. Stray Kids fans, Stay, are clearly built different. The loyalty is unreal. And let me just say this isn't a one-time thing. They've been charting consistently. This is the third year in a row that Stray Kids have made it onto this list with 3 different albums. In 2023, it was Maxident, 2024 gave us Rockstar, and now 2025 is being owned by Hop. No other Asian artist, K-pop or otherwise, has pulled this off. It's honestly historic. Also, Hop didn't just dominate the CD category. It ranked 8th overall in the top 10 albums in the US, and again, it was the highest ranking for any Asian artist on that list. This really isn't just a K-pop achievement anymore. Stray Kids are carving out a global legacy, period. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear this next part. Last year, they broke another record on the Billboard 200 by debuting at #1 6 times in a row. Let me repeat that, 6 consecutive #1 debuts since their first album. That's not just a K-pop record. That's an all-time Billboard history record. 69 years of chart history. And no one's done it quite like Stray Kids. It honestly makes you wonder, what's the secret sauce here? Is it their music, their energy, their stage presence, or is it just that unshakable connection they have with their fans? Because I've got to say, every comeback feels like a full-blown event with Stray Kids. They're not just putting out music, they're creating an entire experience. And fans respond to that. I respond to that. Right now, they're in the middle of their world tour called Dominate. And wow, what a fitting name. These guys are not playing. Their European leg is already a major moment. And get this, they're set to become the first K-pop artist to perform at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Not once, but 2 nights in a row, July 18th and 19th. That's a football stadium with a capacity of over 62,000. For comparison, that's like selling out Madison Square Garden 3 times over. After London, they're heading to Madrid, Paris, and Rome. So if you're in Europe right now and planning to go, you better count yourself lucky because this is K-pop history in the making. I'd honestly love to hear from any of you who are attending one of these shows. What's the vibe? How's the crowd? And is there a moment during the concert that just gives you chills? But here's what I want to talk to you about. Do you think Stray Kids is now officially part of the global pop elite? Like, have they crossed that threshold where they're no longer just a top-tier K-pop group, but a worldwide music powerhouse? Because let's be real, these numbers don't lie. Also, what do you think makes their music resonate so deeply with international fans? I mean, there's a language barrier, sure, but clearly it's not stopping anyone. Is it the production? Their lyrics? The rawness of their performances? Let's open that discussion in the comments. I'd love to know what you think makes Stray Kids stand out in the sea of K-pop groups out there. And honestly, how do they manage to reinvent themselves with each comeback and still stay true to their core? That's something I find so impressive. Like Hop feels different from Rockstar, and Rockstar felt different from Maxident, but they all still scream Stray Kids. That's not easy to pull off. And speaking of reinvention, I think one of Stray Kids' biggest strengths is that they're not afraid to experiment. Whether it's genre, concept, or even the structure of their songs, they take risks. And let's be real, sometimes those risks don't make sense the first time you hear them, but then you listen again, and suddenly you're hooked. That's the mark of an artist, not just an idol group. They're creating art that challenges listeners, not just entertains. You can especially see that in Hop. The title track and the B-sides really show off their range. There's grit, there's emotion, there's chaos, but there's also this underlying structure that ties it all together. That's the 3H touch, right? Bang Chan, Changbin, and Han are doing something unique in the K-pop scene by writing and producing the majority of their own music. It adds this raw, authentic flavor that you can't replicate. And let's not ignore the performance side of things. Have you ever watched a Stray Kids stage and not been blown away? They're like a storm. Every move, every facial expression, every drop of sweat feels intentional. It's not about being perfect, it's about being powerful. And that power translates whether you're watching on a screen or in a stadium. No wonder they're packing venues like Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I mean, that's not even just about fan numbers. That's about stage presence that commands that scale of an audience. Now, I want to throw this question out there to you all. Do you think Stray Kids is changing the image of what a K-pop group can be internationally? Like traditionally, we think of polished visuals, synchronized choreography, and love songs. But Stray Kids brings in this kind of rebellious, almost punk attitude that still works within the K-pop system, but also breaks it a little. It feels new. It feels like evolution. Are they paving the way for a new generation of idols who are more self-produced, more experimental, more genre fluid? And let's also acknowledge that their global success isn't just an accident. JYP has clearly invested in their international growth, but it's the members themselves who are doing the heavy lifting. From their social media content to their interviews and fan interactions, they're just real. That kind of authenticity builds long-term loyalty, not just viral moments. Honestly, when I think about the fact that they sold nearly 150,000 CDs in the US in just the first half of the year, it blows my mind. That's not even digital streaming. We're talking physical CDs. In a country where streaming dominates, that means people aren't just casually listening, they're collecting, they're supporting, they're emotionally invested. That's a different kind of connection. Also, if you're a stay, I want to hear from you. What was your favorite moment from the Hop era so far? Was it a music video, a performance, a behind-the-scenes clip that made you love them even more? Drop it in the comments and let's celebrate this achievement together. But even if you're not a hardcore stay, I think we can all agree that what Stray Kids are doing right now is opening doors. Not just for themselves, but for K-pop as a global force. And that's something worth paying attention to. Because if this is what they're achieving mid-year, imagine what's coming next. Maybe another record on Billboard? Maybe a surprise collab with a Western artist? Who knows? What I do know is, this moment, this achievement, is massive. And it deserves to be talked about, not just as another news headline, but as part of the bigger conversation about music, globalization, and fan power in the digital age. All right, Buzz fam, that's where I'll pause for now. But before we wrap this up, here's what I want to ask you again. Has Stray Kids officially gone from K-pop legends to global icons? And how do you see their role in shaping the future of K-pop worldwide? Let's get the conversation going in the comments. I'll be down there reading and replying to as many as I can. Thanks for watching Young Buzz, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into the world of K-pop. See you in the next one.